Why don't hungry crocodiles eat toothpick birds? Because they help each other. After a crocodile eats, a lot of food scraps and blood stay inside its mouth. If this stays there for a long time, parasites can grow. The toothpick bird helps the crocodile by cleaning the inside of its mouth. This way, the crocodile's mouth becomes clean and the toothpick bird gets a full meal. That is why, even when the toothpick bird sits inside a crocodile's mouth, the crocodile does not eat it. Everyone has probably heard the story of crocodiles and toothpick birds, right? In elementary school textbooks, they were even used as an example of animals helping each other. You can also see them mentioned in many interesting places, and there was even a TV series called Crocodile and Toothpick Bird. Shipping the couple is fun, but the crocodile and toothpick bird pair is actually a beautiful misunderstanding. They are not truly in a symbiotic relationship. However, the toothpick bird itself does really exist. Its scientific name is the Egyptian plover, and it mainly lives in tropical Africa. As for its nickname, it comes from over 2,000 years ago. A famous ancient Greek writer named Herodotus recorded in his book that crocodiles lying on the riverbank would open their mouths and let a bird fly in to help clean their teeth. Because of this description, the bird that picked teeth became known as the toothpick bird. The problem is that although Herodotus wrote about this behavior, no other scientists have ever directly observed it. In 1979, a biologist spoke about this phenomenon in his book and said that people in history who claimed to see this behavior were not very reliable. He believed that Egyptian plovers picking food out of crocodile mouths only happens by accident, not regularly. If such a large bird treated this as its main food source, then the crocodile's teeth would have to trap food extremely well, which sounds unlikely. So crocodiles and Egyptian plovers do not form a symbiotic relationship. After that, many biologists and bird experts stayed in Africa to observe this behavior. They stood under the sun for a long time, got badly sunburned, and still never saw an Egyptian plover cleaning a crocodile's teeth. Also, think about it. How could a crocodile with such big tooth gaps even get food stuck between its teeth? There is no need to worry about cleanliness at all. That's because of the special structure of crocodile teeth. New teeth constantly grow to replace old, worn teeth, and this tooth replacement process continues smoothly throughout the crocodile's entire life. As for the photos online showing Egyptian plovers cleaning crocodile teeth, most of them are photoshopped or are digital reconstructions based on Herodotus's description. Some people say, photos can be fake, but videos can't be fake, right? So what's going on with those videos? Well, keep watching and you'll find out. Some ads are really silly. Can you imagine this? There is a kind of creature that can live as long as the universe itself. Fire can't burn it to death. Ice can't freeze it to death. Even if you throw it into outer space, it can still survive. And even if you throw it into the sun, it might not die. And the craziest part is, this creature really exists on Earth. Isn't that annoying? It has everything humans want, yet humans can't even see it with their eyes. This amazing creature is called the tardigrade, also known as the water bear. In recent years, stories about tardigrades have become more and more exaggerated. People say they are immortal, can live forever, can survive in a vacuum, and are the strongest creatures on Earth. They have already become a favorite topic for many so-called science videos that are actually just trying to be flashy. But do tardigrades really have such amazing powers? First of all, when we say tardigrade, we are not talking about just one species. Tardigrades are a whole group with more than 1,000 different species, so all those super abilities are not found in a single species. Different abilities belong to different kinds. One thing is true, we really can't see them with our eyes. Most tardigrades are less than 1 millimeter long, which makes them very hard to see without a microscope. Don't let their tiny size fool you. They have 8 legs spread evenly around their body, which may make them the smallest animals on Earth that have legs. However, many reconstruction images online that show tardigrades looking big and solid, like an Ant-Man version, are wrong. Tardigrades are almost completely transparent, and you can even clearly see what they are eating inside their bodies. As for the idea that tardigrades live forever, that is simply not true. In normal living conditions, their lifespan is only a few years. The reason people think they live very long is that they can enter a special, hidden, or dormant state, where their metabolism drops to 1/10,000th of normal. The most common form is called low moisture dormancy. In this state, the tardigrade loses about 95% of the water in its body and becomes dried up. It can stay like this for more than 5 years, and when water is added again, it can recover. Dormancy caused by low temperature, high pressure, or lack of oxygen allows tardigrades to survive most harsh environments on Earth. But what about being thrown into the sun or extreme cold? They cannot truly survive those conditions. They can only last a little longer, but not forever. Still, their ability to adapt to extreme environments is something humans can only dream of. In recent years, scientists have studied tardigrades and discovered that they have a unique damage-suppressing protein called DSUP. This protein greatly improves their DNA's resistance to radiation. If DSUP is added to lab-grown cells, it could have useful effects in biotechnology. One of the most unbelievable events involves tardigrades going to space. In 2007, some people sent tardigrades into space for 10 days and found that some of them survived. Then, in April 2019, Israel's Bereshit Genesis lunar probe carried some tardigrades to the moon, but the spacecraft crashed. Some people joked, does this mean tardigrades have started colonizing the moon? Has the moon become a new country now? Relax. Even though tardigrades are very resistant, these abilities are only self-protection mechanisms in extreme conditions. To live normally, they still need water and oxygen. Without those, they will eventually die. So don't worry, this is not the beginning of an insect invasion or an attack on Earth. The immortal jellyfish is the most amazing animal humans have ever discovered. There is no second one like it. It is currently the only animal on Earth that can truly achieve immortality. Unless it dies from disease or is eaten by a predator, it can keep living with no natural limit to its lifespan. Living for 500 million years would not be a problem, and even 1 billion years is possible. Since a scientific paper published in 2010 described the immortal jellyfish as an animal that does not die, it has become extremely popular on the internet. After all, immortality is something humans have always dreamed of. But after being heavily exaggerated by many videos, people's understanding has slowly drifted away from the truth. First of all, the immortality of the immortal jellyfish is not the same as the kind of eternal life humans want. Instead, it belongs to a reverse aging system. Simply put, the immortal jellyfish can repeatedly transform from an adult state back to a juvenile state, with no limit on how many times this happens. This is how it avoids death. To understand this, we must first understand the jellyfish's different life stages and how they reproduce. Jellyfish belong to a group of animals that usually have two basic forms, the polyp form and the medusa jellyfish form. The polyp form can reproduce asexually, while the medusa form reproduces sexually. So here's an important question. After a jellyfish changes from the medusa form back into the polyp form and reproduces asexually, is it still the same individual as before? This is still debated. Another viewpoint says that the polyp and medusa forms are simply two different shapes of the same animal, like an umbrella being opened and closed. If that's the case, then it's not correct to say one is young and the other is adult, and the idea of reverse aging may not truly exist. Fourth, current experiments do show that under external stimulation, an immortal jellyfish in its medusa form can change back into its polyp form. However, whether this process can repeat without limit, or whether the jellyfish can control it by itself in normal conditions, is still unknown. So the idea of an infinite lifespan is only the best theoretical case. No matter what, all currently discovered abilities related to anti-aging and self-repair exist only in lower life forms. Whether these abilities can ever work in mammals or humans is still completely unknown. Recently, I also watched a video series by 4-Dimensional Laboratory about human immortality, and it truly changed how I think about eternal life. So here's a question for everyone. Do you think achieving immortality while keeping human consciousness would actually be a disaster for humanity? Maybe from an evolution point of view, letting a species reproduce is what helps it adapt better to the environment. In that way, death itself also has value. Some time ago, someone tagged me and asked that the camel spits out its stomach. After all, camels and humans are both mammals, so I should know this, right? Think about it. Camels can drink huge amounts of water in one go. If that were really its stomach, how big would the stomach have to be? What it actually spits out is a fleshy air sac. It normally stays inside the mouth. When the camel eats things like cactus, this sac helps protect its mouth. It usually only gets pushed out when the camel is in an excited or special emotional state, such as trying to attract a mate. Yes, that thing that looks a bit disgusting is actually how male camels show their charm. I honestly don't fully understand this behavior either, but I can tell you one thing: camels can spit at people. When I was a kid, I often went to the zoo. Camels were the biggest animals there and very popular. Many kids lined up to feed them. But if you tease a camel again and again and refuse to give it food, it might spit right in your face. So those round things in your hands, don't keep teasing the camel, just throw the food in. Last time I said I would add this section at the end, so this time let's officially start. Lake monsters and wild men were very popular mysterious creatures in the last century. They often appeared in unsolved mysteries books, but these creatures are not recognized by modern mainstream science. They belong to the field of cryptozoology. Wild men have different names on different continents. The video shown here is about the North American wild man, better known as Bigfoot. This short film from 1967 is one of the most famous events in cryptozoology. Over the past decades, there has never been a clear answer about whether the Bigfoot incident was real or fake, especially because the event involved different interests. When interests are involved, no side's motives are truly simple. The footage has been carefully analyzed by scientists, forensic experts, and special effects experts. I've watched many analysis videos and different conclusion videos, but none of them can explain everything perfectly. Even today, many people in the United States firmly believe Bigfoot exists. This includes some experts and anthropology researchers. Reports of sightings also appear every year. For things that have grown into cultural symbols or myth-like stories, it's very hard to prove they don't exist. There might be one possible way to prove their existence: footprints. In paleontology, footprint fossils can be officially named in academic research. For example, in recent news, carnivorous dinosaur footprints were discovered in Sichuan, USA, and were given a scientific name. These are not real dinosaur bones, but trace fossils. Even so, because footprints still have research value, they are named using scientific classification systems. If wildman footprints could meet scientific standards and be formally named, that would indirectly prove their existence. Unfortunately, all footprints discovered so far still cannot rule out the possibility of being fake. From a scientific point of view, we still cannot prove that wild men exist. But when it comes to cryptozoology, I choose to keep an open mind. After all, the oldest and strongest human emotion is fear, and the oldest and strongest fear is fear of the unknown. Alright, that's everything for today's video. May truth spread faster than rumors. See you next time.